Yes, I'm wearing a suit. It's Friday. Yeah, not too excited about that, but I'm interviewing somebody today, so that's what you gotta do. It's Friday, and I'm very late putting this video together. I'm shooting the video on Friday that I'm gonna release on Friday, which is not a good idea. But it's been a really busy week. Yesterday was really productive in the office all day. Just didn't stop to shoot any footage, and not a lot interesting was happening because I was just at my desk pretty much the whole day. But of all the businesses I met with this week, there are two cases that kind of stood out that I wanted to share with you. The first case, the company is doing really well and they can't hire people fast enough. And the second case, the company is doing well, but they have a key position that isn't filled, and it's causing a lot of pain and suffering. Why is that interesting? That's a really good question. That's interesting because these two companies are run from completely different mindsets. One company, the one that's struggling to fill a key position, is very much about the professional nature of the employee and acquiring not only a very particular skill set, but a very particular bent, a very particular, not personality set, but just the way the person is wired. And they're very good at identifying the kind of person that they want in this position. The other company isn't focused at all on even the skill set of the person. They have spent an extraordinary amount of time working on the processes that are involved in every single aspect of the business, and they're confident that they can, this is going to sound wrong, but they can bring a monkey in and they can train a monkey to do whatever job it is that they need done at that company. Now that last little statement is offensive to some people, but I want to explore it just a little bit more because I think it's huge when it comes to growing your business. This book, The Effective Executive by Michael Gerber, is probably one of the all-time favorites among business owners. This is kind of like the entrepreneur's roadmap to growing a business. And one of the things I really like about this book is it talks about how to build processes. And in general, the businesses that I see who follow that kind of mantra, whether it comes from Gerber or not, tend to grow at a much faster rate, and they tend to have a lot lower employee turnover. Which is interesting because you would think if you were treating people like monkeys, you know, that derogatory image of just hiring whomever and sticking them in a position, you would think that you would have higher turnover, but it's not the case. Why not? I'm glad you asked because, as usual, I have a theory about these kinds of things. See, I think that most employees, they don't just want a process, they want something that they can work on to improve. And if there's no process, pretty much up to them to decide how the job is going to get done. And because there's no standard, they vacillate a lot between doing it one way, doing it another way. Sometimes there's a checklist, sometimes there's a process, sometimes there's a standard that they set themselves, but we are all horrible at holding ourselves accountable. So if I'm the employee and I'm supposed to just go out and get the work done, on days when I'm really feeling it, I'm gonna do a great job to a great standard. On days when I'm not feeling it, if nobody's looking over my shoulder to hold me to the standard, I'm probably gonna let myself off the hook. The reason that I think companies that focus on building good processes have lower turnover is because the employees who come to work there have a standard that they're held accountable to, and they also have a benchmark that they can improve upon. What we find is that in those companies, the employees work relentlessly to improve the process. The fact that there is a bar means that they want to raise it. Most people want to get better and better and better, and those that don't quickly weed themselves out. So if you're struggling to fill a key position, I would say take your eyes off the position and go back to the process, because what you might find is that if you put a good process in place, Some of the people who are already there, once you have a process in place, once they see that bar, once they start getting motivated to raise it, you might find that you've actually got the person for the management talent that you want somewhere down there on the bottom of the org chart. That's the other thing we see a lot. In companies with good processes, they most often hire from within. See you guys tomorrow. Sometimes I feel like I spend half my life in Starbucks parking lot.